Lads, we're here for episode number 5 of the F1 2014 modded career mode here for the Spanish Grand Prix. In the last race in China, we had a fairly good race, getting 4th place in what was a pretty crazy one. Here, we'll be looking to pretty much continue our consistency that we showed so far this season. The strategy is primes, options, options. We qualified in 10th. I got into Q3 fairly easily, but I decided having fresher tyres would be better than having track position because we have a 33% chance of rain to come down in this race. So I'm thinking if I go on the primes here, I might be able to get away with one less stop compared to the AI. Say if the rain comes down before the first stop or maybe even just after the first stop, we might be able to jump everyone in terms of track position with one less stop. So I'm hoping that it works out. Spain, probably not one of my best tracks in the world, but I'll be looking to try and win this race on pure strategy. So, wish me luck. Alright, so here we are on the grid of the Spanish Grand Prix here in Catalonia. We've been so consistent this season. Let's try and continue that into this race. And away we go here in Spain. Looks like the start has been pretty terrible. I'd expect that to be normal, to be honest, because the primes really don't have that residual grip to get us off the line. We've been mugged by Perez, Bottas, and almost Jean-Eric Vergne there. There's cars absolutely everywhere. We just need to find a good gap to try and find some positions. Raikkonen got off to a flyer. Bottas now in a 10th. We've moved up into 11th. And Massa got spun on the inside there. And now he's out of the Grand Prix. Possibly there might be a safety car there. I don't know how he's still in this race. We've still got 22 runners in the Grand Prix. Up the inside of, is that Hulkenberg? We've lost the rear end there, but we still hold 10th place at the moment. The Force India there slams into the side of us and we try to avoid Raikkonen there. This is all just a bit messy here, but we maintain 10th place at the moment somehow without any damage. Still running the realistic damage mod, and somehow Felipe Massa, after that spin in the the opening couple of corners, hasn't crashed out and hasn't caused a safety car either. So that's pretty remarkable in itself. Now cutting to lap 2 up the inside of Nico Hulkenberg into 9th place. Job done. Now we can start to move through the field as we pick up some of our momentum, gain a little bit of confidence. I believe with Spain being such a high tyre wear track, we should be able to capitalise on these option runners as their tyres start to go off. But now Kimi Raikkonen now going defensive, trying to block off the racing line there, but we go up the inside. Job done into P8. We leave Kimi barely any room. We just want to get through the field as quickly as we can. Next up is our championship contender, Jenson Button. We go up the inside, somehow making it too wide. I don't know how we could make it through there, but we just about did. Now we're trying to hold around the outside of Jenson through the final corner, using up all of our curves, DRS and fast revs. That moves us up into 7th. Raikkonen follows us through as well into 8th place. But now cutting to lap 5, we've caught up to the back of Fernando Alonso, and we just cheekily stick the nose in there, and Alonso, with all his talent and whatever, just leaves the room there. Very respectful racing there from Fernando. That puts us up into 6th. Magnussen going defensive into turn 1, braking early, puts us up into P5. We're just flying through the field now as their tyres are starting to go off. Ours are sort of starting to go off, but not as much as what the AI are. So this is a nice surprise for once. Now going around the outside of Ricardo. The AI just braking so early when they go defensive. And as you can see on the replay there, it's just a fairly decent overtake there around the outside. Now cutting to lap 9, catching up to the back of Sebastian Vettel with the help of DRS, passing him now and into the podium positions. Next up is Lewis Hamilton now, lap 13. The option runners are coming to the end of their stint now, so they're starting to lose a lot of time to us. Except for Nico Rosberg, he's been absolutely flying for the whole of this race. We go up in a 2nd, but Rosberg now has almost a pit stops lead over us now. So Rosberg absolutely flying at this moment, but now it's lap 21. We're coming in for a new set of tyres. On the previous lap, we had Lewis Hamilton coming in for a set of primes, I believe. So I didn't want to let the AI get an undercut. I thought I'd come in on the very next lap to try and maintain second place if I can. Now switching to the much faster option tyres, but hopefully the tyre wear can be decent on this set of tyres. We'll need to look after them throughout the majority of this stint, but we'll see how we go. But rejoining on the track now, we should just about rejoin in front of Lewis Hamilton, and it looks like the overcut has worked. So now we have track position, we have clean air, now we can push and try and set off after Nico Rosberg. Nope, never mind, it's 32.2 seconds, we're never going to chase that down as we get caught up behind Marcus Ericsson now in his Caterham, just nowhere for us to go. That's very frustrating, and now we get past him, but that allows Hamilton to catch up just ever so slightly. Radio. Yeah, so 3 seconds a lap faster than Jenson Button. That's not normal. There must be some kind of damage to his car. Team radio.
Looking at the radar, it looks like we might have light rain in about 15 minutes.
Okay, so we got light rain coming, but I was about to come in for a new stop anyway, so this is going to suit my strategy absolutely perfectly. 15 minutes equals maybe 10 or 11 laps, and we could easily do that on options. I believe we just did around 15 or 16 laps on our current set of options, so that should easily see us till the next stint where it starts to rain. So fingers crossed we might be able to chase down Nico Rosberg if he has to stretch out his tyres longer than what he has to. So fingers crossed it works out. Rejoining on the track now in second place. The rain is now starting to come down, and the lead of Rosberg is now down to 4 seconds. So just as I was saying before, Rosberg had to stay out a very long time on his prime tyres. It was at a really awkward phase of the race where the rain was starting to come down. We came in for a new set of tyres, and then from there on we were over a second to a second and a half a lap faster than him for about 15 laps, and that adds up over the space of a race stint. Now he's finally come in for a new set of tyres. Team radio.
It's starting to rain. It's just light at the moment, but if it worsens, we'll need to switch to inters or wet.
Yeah, so we'll be coming in a few laps time anyway for a new set of tyres. But as I was saying before, Rosberg just came in for a new set of dry tyres. From then on, Rosberg started to extend the gap a little bit, but yeah, he'll be coming in for a new set of inters very soon. Speaking of inters, we're coming in now for our set, and it looks like we'll be the first in the field to do so. So Rosberg now has a 14.8 second lead. That's not truly reflective of how much it really is. I think it's more like 7 or 8 seconds, but if we can undercut him here by maybe 1 or 2 laps, and that could make a massive difference, especially if the track condition or temperatures in the tyres really start to diminish over the next few minutes. But yeah, as I was saying, the first in the field to put on the intermediate tyres, this might benefit us as the rain comes down heavier, but if we come in too early, then we run the risk of having massive tyre wear, so that's a big factor to consider. But I thought it was worth taking the risk of coming in early. We could always come in for another set of intermediate tyres just to play it safe, because Raikkonen is a long way back in third place. He's about 30 or 40 seconds back at least, so yeah, we've made up a lot of time in the last few minutes. But Rosberg actually stayed out for an extra 2 laps before putting on his intermediate tyres, and now the gap is down to 7 seconds. So now it's officially a sprint race to the end of the race. We're lapping our teammate Romain Grosjean around the outside. He doesn't really do us any favours there, sort of got in our way a little bit, but now lap 63, we've got the lead down to 3 seconds, so we're definitely catching Rosberg. We are much faster than his car in intermediate conditions, so fingers crossed we can continue this momentum. It's now down to 2.6 seconds, and now cutting to the final lap. Unfortunately, we just weren't able to catch him by any more after that. It seems like the tyres started to go off, and then Rosberg started to flourish in the last few laps. It's now up to 4 seconds, so it's a bit of a shame that the tyre wear really had to come into this. We were really starting to catch Rosberg, and then the tyres really prevented us from getting near Rosberg. But when you consider that we were almost, or more than 30 seconds behind him at one stage in the race, to come home only 4 or 5 seconds back and in second place is a fairly good effort.
Second place, brilliant driving, brilliant driving.
So there we go, second place in the Spanish Grand Prix. I'll take that, considering Spain is such a high tyre wear track. It could have gone a lot worse, I'll just say that much. But Nico Rosberg wins. We come home second. Raikkonen third. Hamilton fourth. Jenson Button, our nearest championship rival, comes home in seventh. So, fairly interesting race, that one. A lot of cars going a lap down. I think a lot of AI cars got caught out by the strategy there, Rosberg included. So I think, in terms of actual strategy, I think we got it right. But unfortunately, we just lost so much time at the start of the race on the prime tyres, having to get through the field. But in the end, we're still leading the championship over, not Sebastian Vettel, over Jenson Button, 22 points behind. Rosberg is equal in second as well, so it's fairly close between those guys. But heading into Monaco, absolutely anything can happen, and it usually normally does. Constructors, Mercedes is leading somehow. I don't know how Mercedes is leading. Their drivers have been so out of form this season. I really don't remember them doing that well, apart from Rosberg here today. But that has been the Spanish Grand Prix. Until the next race in Monaco, I'll see you guys next time.